accidentally left it on the speaker view rather than gallery view, so when I do edit this later, yeah, it'd be unfortunate for everybody involved because it would just be one person's face at a time. So last we left off, you had all decided to agree to the council's request to deal with Sheridan, the leader of the bandit coalition. Supposedly, according to the Birdfolk Council of Alderheart, have been the cause of all the burning across Humblewood. You befriended the doorkeeper or the gatekeeper known as Tricklejam, but also made an enemy of Brutus, decided to poison the water source with a cursed foot, which somehow started a zombie apocalypse, or an outbreak at least. You fought off a bunch of these zombies and using the good old Rafferty Dandridge managed to bust your way into the barracks area where you located Sheridan, and you managed to convince her that you're her rescue squad. Harold and Relic are currently still on the walls where you have been picking off more zombies. The fortress has very much fallen at this point. Fire has spread amongst the tents and buildings, and all the zombies have been ravaging.
I've got a suggestion, you guys. Can I message you both? It's just Lucille and Lilypad with me, isn't it?
And Kingsley.
I've got this new funky spell, okay, where I can manipulate water. All I think we need to do is, if we can sort of lead Sheridan out to where all the refugees are, I'll control and manipulate the water so that she at least gets some of it on her skin. Like, she has to walk through a puddle. She'll turn into a zombie, everyone will have to attack her, so we don't even have to kill her.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, I actually agree with that plan, if she'll trust us enough to let us lead her to a puddle.
All we need to do is lead her to the refugees. I'll go up ahead and leave the cave.
Sheridan first says, we need to discuss this, because if the fortress has fallen, then we need a plan of escape, because as soon as Sharkblade finds out about this, he'll be hunting all of us.
As soon as who?
Sharkblade. He's the superior, we answer to him.
He sounds Australian.
Real name's Bruce.
Well, if we recruit the refugees, we'll have more numbers to fight him with if he does come.
We don't want to get into any trouble with Sharkblade. He's the reason we're in this mess. So we just pay him everything that we owe him, and then he doesn't harm us. So as soon as he finds out we cannot pay him anymore, he may just harm us.
Sharkblade, hoo-ha-ha.
My love, Sheridan, I think you're looking too far into the future, whereas you should probably be thinking about how you're going to get out of this cave alive. If you want to get out of here alive, we're your best hope.
We're your only hope.
I'll go up ahead first, make sure everything's clear and that there's no zombies so that we can get everyone out, and then we'll start working on a plan with Sharkblade.
The ground around you is still smouldering. Smoke pretty much from most of the tents around you, and some of the buildings are crumbled, but most of the flames are not surrounding your immediate area anymore.
How far away is the well from this?
The well was destroyed before the onslaught, when they realised that it was a source of what was happening.
Oh, yeah.
Would I not be able to try and use my cantrip to suck some out?
You can definitely try that. It is towards the centre, so it's about 120 feet away. Don't need to roll. You can definitely get some water out.
So I can take out in a 5-foot cube, and my range is 30 feet, so I'm just going to push it all on the ground as if I'm trying to put out the fire towards the entrance of the base thing.
Do you know if it has to be ingested, though?
I know that I touched the foot.
That's true.
Had an issue, so this might have an effect.
No, that makes sense.
You successfully push the water towards them.
Shall I escort Sheridan out?
I was going to do that. I'll do that with you.
We can do it together, one arm each.
Yeah.
We're going to skip as well.
You push through the little barricade. The ground's very wet. Smell of smoke and just rotten flesh fills your nostrils. Loads of bodies are around you from loads of various animals. You see crooked ears and blood everywhere. It's not a very pretty sight. But Sheridan takes a look around, realises the extent of the damage. She whispers to her friends. Can I have a perception check from Lilypad and Lucille?
5.
12.
You hear her whispering something, but you don't make out what she's saying. She takes a look around and then comes up to all of you and says, we need to get out of here as soon as we can. We're expecting a visit less than 12 hours and he could turn up really early, so...
Start going that way.
So you start heading out as a big group. I'd like a perception check from everybody at this stage, please.
Oh, 22.
8.
Well,
23.
To 16.
Lucille and Relic begin to notice tremors in the ground that you both notice.
Tell everyone. Yo, Tremors.
I look for a source of the tremors.
You look up the mountain. Perception check, please.
23.
You don't need much more to notice two massive eyes and a very low growl. It looks slightly injured, but it's a massive white furry thing growling at you. I'd say 10 times the size of you as little creatures. And seconds later, it pounces over the wall and tries to attack the Rhapsodendrich, or the group around it. I'd like everyone to roll initiative, Relic with advantage.
With longbow.
Great, so Relic immediately sees it, shoots a longbow, and
6.
fires a longbow. It hits off the back, pierces its flesh, and you hear it give a very soft grunt.
I'm going to cast blindness on it.
Natural 20.
Oh, damn.
Your spell has a kind of effect. It kind of hits it, and it slows its movement very, very gradually. It shakes it off, and you hear it just roar.
Fire my crossbow at him. 14 to hit.
But it hits it square in the chest and just bounces off, flies off towards his workshop over here. He yells off its lungs. You feel immediately freezing. So Lucille, Lilypad, Kingsley, and Princess Luna all make a Constitution saving throw, please.
12.
Okay.
18.
So as a chill of freezing cold air blasts out of this guy's mouth, you are all going to take 20 points of damage, except for Princess Luna, who takes 10.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Keeps dashing forwards to you now, and he's going to take a swipe across all of you. Misses though, his claws grasp as his bandit ducks under it.
I'm going to use enlarge on Kingsley. He's even bigger and gets to roll additional strength things. Well, I will go to that building to the left.
Yeah, you can get inside and hit head on the wall there. Kingsley just grows in size, massive. His muscles begin to bulge. Everyone around him just kind of falls backwards. Sheridan slides under the Yeti, throws 2 daggers underneath him. 7 points of damage as his dagger gets stuck underneath his legs, and then with a rapier, kind of cuts down on his leg. 9 points of damage. Kingsley, now double his size, is going to just bash through and try and attack it with his wooden sword.
He gets advantage on strength, saving throws, and attacks.
You got a natural 1 and a 3.
Wow, Kingsley, thanks.
And he rushes forward with his wooden sword and just knocks it on its leg. It does absolutely no damage to it. And then 4 bandits are just going to attack with the short swords in the hope that something hits.
I'd like to run a fair distance away. I go through the alleyway. I can go 50 because I got boots of speed.
Oh, so you're dashing to 100 feet if you're dashing as well.
Oh, nice.
I would like to fire another arrow, but I'd like to set it on fire. So 17 to hit, 10 damage.
Light the thing on fire using the stations that are all set up down there, and fire your arrow directly into its back. His fur lights on fire, and he howls at me.
Use fire, everybody.
I'm gonna shoot with my longbow. 9 to hit.
So you fire it, and it goes right over its head into the barracks area.
I'm gonna try a crossbow again, but 4. Yeah, exactly.
She winds a crossbow and fires, and it just goes right down the courtyard.
So, bardic inspiration on Kingsley because he's massive.
Kingsley gets an extra d6 for his next attack. The Yeti is surprised by the burning on his back, and he's just thinking it's going to be from Sheridan beneath him. So he stomped around madly, trying to reach this target, and it's not working. He's then going to try and pick up one of the boulders that's lying around, and he's going to lob it at the wall. So he launches the boulder, and it just flies right over your head. It is next Kingsley's turn, and he's going to rush forwards with his bardic inspiration, and with his wooden sword he's properly cutting into this thing. But seeing that this is going on, Spike jumps out, and you hear a roar of "Spike's the name, unloading is my game!" You see him crack off a bunch of his spikes on his back, loads them 3 at once into a crossbow, and make 3 attacks. 2 of them hit.
I climb onto the house where I can see the Yeti. Can I shoot or not?
You can shoot, yeah, I'll let you shoot.
Oh, yeah, I shoot it. I got a 16.
From the top, launch fire your arrow, and it hits it in its snout. It's going to claw at his face to try and get the arrow out and just drive the arrow further into his flesh.
Let's fire another flaming arrow then. 19 to hit.
19 hits it. His flesh is still on fire from the previous arrow. The next one right next to it. 28 points of damage.
Did you really just say that? I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery, enchanted string of insults. So he needs to do his wisdom saving throw of 13.
He failed that, so it's 1d4 psychic damage to him.
1d4. 4.
What insult are you saying is him?
Oh, I'm not good at this. Can someone else think of a good insult?
You smell of snow.
You smell of yellow snow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that.
More than enough to hurt his feelings. And
If I cast that prestidigitation thing and make it look like there's fire in front of him.
Make Kingsley look like he's on fire.
Yes, I will make Kingsley look like he's on fire. There we go.
We're just installing mods on Kingsley.
Kingsley DLC.
So I'm making a wisdom saving throw, and it's a 5. So it is terrified of Kingsley on fire. Rushes towards Harold now. Kingsley though gets an attack of opportunity against him, which hits him. And as he's running away, Kingsley chucks his wooden sword at, and he only gets 1 point of damage. Next, the Yeti is trying to now almost escape you. Try and hit the wall from where you're standing. 19. What is it? Plus 11 to hit the wall. Can I have a dexterity saving throw, please, Harold?
10.
10 is not enough, so you're going to take 14 points of slashing damage and then 4 points of cold damage as his claws, where they are, slash at you. But he's brought part of the wall down with a massive hand.
I'm going to use my Wand of Wonder.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh, I'm right next to him. Oh,
Ooh,
Can't see it now.
a natural 100.
If you targeted a creature, you must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
That worked out.
Burning, reaching his hand up to reach Harold, he just slowly turns to ice. It's no longer a threat to anybody here. You hear Spike just give a soft as he pockets his crossbow.
Just making sure. Did everyone
Yeah,
make sure
tender.
not to step in the water?
oh, to heal.
I don't think so.
Hello, General Sheridan. But I just wanted to compliment you on your excellent knife skills. I mean, I was out here thinking I was the one who was going to protect you, and obviously, General Sheridan, you've done an absolute stellar job yourself.
My duty is to my people.
Just continue with your plan.
Is General Sheridan wearing any metal armor?
Yes.
Maybe she would like to cool off with some water if that armor suddenly got very hot. I did spy a lot of guards on the castle walls, though, so I'm not sure if that's a great idea.
Well, maybe she'll want a water after all that hard work saving us.
General Sheridan, do you know what happened to the people here that just turned into zombos?
The first suspicious thing was thought that the water source must have been poisoned by someone. So we destroyed the well and we've only been drinking from the stream at this point.
We had it down as dehydration, funnily enough. So I assume we should probably go to the stream and get some water so that we can bring it back to the camp. Do you have any flasks or anything that we would be able to store the water in?
If anyone would have them, it would be Spike.
Is Spike nearby enough for me to say hello?
Yeah, he's just around the corner.
Lucille, could you come down, please?
No.
Okay, I'll message you instead. Would you be able to try and convince Spike to give us some flasks?
No, I feel like Spike hates me too much.
But friendship is magic. We just need some flasks. So if you could make amends.
I try to ask forgiveness from Spike. Now that we're probably on the same team right now, how about we call it even?
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, kind of natural 20.
Spike rubs off his hands from the blood and the crossbow. He puts it on his back, puts his gloves back on, and then takes your hand in both of his, and he's like, "Of course."
Oh yeah, also can I have some flasks, please?
Oh well, I seem to have burnt up all the flasks in the attack right there. So not today, my friend. No, not today.
I go back to Lunar Appleby. There are no flasks. Sorry.
Have we got anything on us that we may be able to use as flasks?
I have the cooking pot I gave Sheridan.
We'll say we're getting it from the stream, and we'll go to the stream, but I'll secretly have the water in, like, near me, but discreetly near me.
You might get suspicious of the cooking pot, though.
Yeah, don't we have like a water skin on us or something? Like
The skin for holding water.
the thing that we drink from.
Oh, okay, perfect, yeah. I'm gonna fill mine with the water from the well.
It's just a stealth check though, just to make sure you can do it without actually being suspicious of the water again.
6. Plus my bardic inspiration, 12.
And as you bend down to start gathering some of this water in your flask, Sheridan herself is just like, "Did you not just hear what we said? It was the water supply. You don't collect water anymore."
No,
Saving
I
up-
heard that you were suspecting that it was the water supply. However, I wanted to do some investigations to find out what was really poisoning the water.
Deception check, please.
7. Does anyone want to give me a bardic inspiration?
I'm already down to 2 out of 3.
I don't think I can after rolling, but would you allow it if I added a bardic inspiration onto this?
Yeah, I have no issue with that.
Yeah, sure, there you go.
9.
Oh, it does say it can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome. Yeah.
Oh, 9.
She believes you and is like, okay, you seem wizard-like. Don't drink it. Make sure no one accidentally drinks that one.
Yeah, of course not. I'm right on it.
And she seems very stressed as she storms out of the stronghold area.
Are we all back together now?
Huddle.
Let's all be together.
Yes.
Huddle up.
Ooh.
Right. So I've made some notes. Deal with Sheridan. What do we think?
Well,
I've made 4 notes. So deal with Sheridan is what we were sent by the bird people to do. Kill Brutus the Beaver was the second one. That was a personal one. We are bitten and shark blades. So the only real thing that's sort of happening at the minute is dealing with Sheridan. We have Spike as well nearby, who Lucille's now made amends with. So we could have another ally.
Are we now convinced that it's the birds that sent us that are the bad guys?
No.
I don't know.
Are you just
I
saying
thought
that?
they were.
Well, I'm convinced that they're the bad guys.
This bandit camp has actually been quite nice to us.
Yeah.
I do feel like we should befriend her and take down the council with her.
I think we should burn that tree to the ground.
Yeah, I think we should convince her to go.
I mean, we could rally all the other bandits. We could go on like a road trip.
I like the idea of just collecting an army
We could assemble them and avenge their dead.
and then storm the council.
We can offer
Yeah.
freedom to the bandits.
I want to go
Can
and
we
check on the
beat
Ratty
Spike
Dandridge.
again?
Check it's okay.
Perfectly fine.
Perfectly working. Can we try and convince Spike to come on as an ally?
You can roll a persuasion check.
Can we all do it together in a song?
You can have 2 performance checks.
I'm good at performance. I'll join you.
I'm good at performance too on this, actually. Let's
I'm
try
not
it.
enjoying you though.
Wait, what we doing?
16 on performance.
We got 12.
Go on.
11.
23.
Oh, nice. Showed us up.
How did the song go, roughly?
Help! I need some Spike, yeah, help! Not just any Spike, yeah, help!
Help.
I need someone unload!
So Spike is more than happy to come along. Tricklejaw hears this song and he creeps forward and he says, let's just remember that I am the chosen one in this situation. I get to be the final decision of who joins our team.
Someone's getting big-headed.
Oh my goodness. Trickle Jam?
We need an intervention.
I think we should convince him even more and convince him to follow our plan and lead. So General Sheridan thinks it's his idea.
We're the advisors.
We
Well-
need to somehow find Beowulf and
Yeah, they're still slaves, aren't they?
Pickle Snatch. Pickle Snatch?
Yeah.
Pickle Trail, but it became Pickle Snatch.
Can someone take that flask which I filled with the poison water? Can someone swap with me so that I can have one that's filled with the stream water? And then that way, General Sheridan will think that the one I've got is from the well, and then the one that Harold has is actually from the well, and then we can somehow slip it to her.
Sure.
I'm gonna go swimming.
You feel very refreshed. Washes all the blood and the grime from the battle, and you feel as clean as you've been in a few weeks.
Can I class this as a short rest?
Are we going with kill Sheridan plan or are we going with other plan?
Other.
Yeah, she could be useful for like rallying.
So I think we should try and blame this whole thing on those birds that were seen around, because those 2 birds are now disguised. And so that's how we can pass the blame on to the birds and try and convince her. Then how do we know the stuff?
I don't know. Well, should I come clean and say that I was sent to do this, but
But now that you've seen
yeah, I've seen their true nature and that want to fight for the bandits now.
we've bonded in our war against
Yeah.
the greater threat.
Should I do that?
Try it.
Okay, so you've been up at the stream, which is about 20 minutes up the mountain. See all the wagons prepared to leave. There are about 60 stragglers. All the supplies, the remaining supplies, are all spread out amongst them.
What should I tell her? What shouldn't I tell her?
We did it.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. Should I say that I'm actually a bird that has been offered a seat on the council, like as long as I can basically bring her head and bring down this bandit camp? But I've defected and decided I'm gonna be a double agent.
As long as
Even
you
though
do it sincerely.
But then they're going to know that we poisoned camp.
No.
Well, I can say that I've seen some other birds about, and that they got killed during the zombie fight.
You know you weren't the only one that was sent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
So this was your doing in terms of this whole destruction?
No. I know I'm not the only bird that's been sent. We were just here to have a look around because we've never been here before.
Deception check, please.
Deception. 19.
She says that weirdly lines up with my plan very well. If you're being completely honest that you've got a place on the council.
I haven't got one. I've got one if I kill you and bring this camp to its knees. They are corrupt and being nasty to all of the humble folk, and that isn't good.
I admire your honesty. I admire your stance while you were bathing. We decided that the only place we can stay away from destruction, which is sure to come anytime soon, my head is on the line. My people are going to be taken, killed. So my best option here, rather than going to hiding, is to go to Alderheart, enter as refugees. But as they already know who I am,
we could disguise you.
the only place you can get on the council and they know who I am is if they see my head. More importantly, I need my people to be safe. So if you can convince whoever you need to convince to have refuge in Alderheart, if it means I have to die in the process, then I guess it comes to that.
You're a very honourable woman.
The week's ride to Alderheart, save that till we get there. But if that's what it takes for my people to have safety from Sharkblade, then that's what it'll take.
Can you announce, what we've discussed to the people so that if my disguise falls off or gets damaged in any way, they won't try and kill me because I'm a bird?
Why don't we organise a signed contract of things going forwards?
That would be nice.
My terms of not setting everyone on you right now, seeing that you are very outnumbered. When we reach Alderheart, I would like you to please, for our people to be taken as refugees, granted immunity from their crimes against raids on travellers, that kind of thing.
I think we should agree.
Yeah, agree with her.
She also says that if possible, to have her life spared, but she doubts it will happen.
Like, the aim here is to take the council down, so...
Who's around? Let's do a perception. Let's find out what sort of wreckage we can cause.
Let's do it. I got a 7.
Perception is... so 9.
17.
Lilypad is the only one to notice anything spectacular. The rest of you just see refugees crying over loved ones, trying to salvage anything from their homes as they're loading it all into wagons here. Dandridge has a fair amount of attention with people looking at and wondering who it could possibly be. Spike, now you've convinced him to join you. He's atop the refugee Dandridge with a few supplies of his own, a few trinkets and weapons that he's salvaged. Everyone's just ready to go, basically. They're about to head off on a 7-day caravan journey to Alderheart.
How strong is this army? How many people strong?
Around 60.
Is Brutus among them?
No, he's not.
Have we killed Brutus?
Last he was in the prison with Harold, and then you convinced him to be executed tomorrow morning. It's now tomorrow morning, but he can assume
he's still stuck in the prison.
You haven't seen him, so you have no idea.
Should we maybe go check on him?
Make sure he's dead.
We're going to fly over and just check the area. Do you want like a perception check?
Yeah.
24 with a natural 20?
You see barely alive zombies that can only crawl at the stage. That's about it in terms of any sign of life amongst this place.
What about the prison?
Where the prison was, which was like a canvas tent, there's nothing left of that area. It's all just ash. General Sheridan stands up on her elegant cart and just says, "This bird, what's your name again?"
Harold.
Harold is not our enemy. He sides with our cause, and he came to protect us and warn us. We just got caught up in all this madness that happened. He's our best chance at anything good going on when we reached Alderheart. Whatever prejudice you have against him, not on my watch. Jumps aboard her wagon, and they begin leading the progression down the mountain towards, hopefully, Alderheart.
I think we should leave a note for basically, I don't know, threatening him. Leave these lands or this will be you.
Trickle-Jam sheds a tear for Brutus and for the rest of his family who were lost in this. Sheaths his little sword and chest puffed out because he is the chosen one still. Hops aboard the rest of Dandridge with you lot and Spike. After 7 days, you approach Alderheart, the big tree in the centre, and we'll end the game right here.